Hello, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to Jerry's NBA Talk TV. This is NBA Jerry, and thank you for watching. I apologize for not making a video for a while. I was having a couple of technical difficulties, but I'm back now. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the draft, the NBA draft. But before I do that, for all fans that don't know how the NBA lottery and the draft works, let me see if I can explain it to you. Or those that do know, this will be a little bit of a refresher. First, there are 30 teams in the NBA, 15 teams in the Eastern Conference and 15 teams in the Western Conference. There's an 82 game schedule, and how it works is every team plays 82 games, and at the end of the season, the top 8 teams from the Eastern Conference and the top 8 teams from the Western Conference qualify for the playoffs. So that leaves 14 teams out, 7 teams on the Eastern Conference and 7 teams in the Western Conference. Those 14 teams are qualified or entered into the NBA lottery. And what that does is it helps the league stay balanced. Because by logic, the teams that make the playoffs or the best teams are the ones with the most talent. By the teams that don't make the playoffs, they allow them to get the best talent. Because it all starts with talent. So around May, middle of May, end of May, they do what's called an NBA lottery. And in that lottery, that determines for those 14 teams what picks they'll get in what order. There are only 3 ways an NBA team can build a roster. And that's through trades, signing free agents, and through the draft. The NBA draft is a great way for a team to get not only great talent, but young talent to build around for years to come. And the draft is a great thing for these young kids that are coming out of college and from overseas to have all their hard work pay off and their dreams come true to be a professional NBA basketball player. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the top 5 draft picks in the 2010 NBA draft. I'm not going to talk about the whole draft. The reason why is it's too long. It's 2 rounds and it's a lot of teams. I have a special coming up where I'm going to do a 30 teams in 30 day breakdown, where I will break down all 30 teams in the NBA, and I will cover in depthly all the draft picks, the free agents, and the trades. So I'll be covering the NBA draft more in depth in my 30 team and 30 day special. The 2010 NBA draft was a very unique one because of the 2010 free agencies. So a lot of the teams that were in the draft were trying to make moves in trades. The top 5 picks that I'm getting ready to talk about really don't have anything to do with that. New Jersey Nets, out of the top 5, were the only legitimate team to really get one of the big free agents. So let's get into the top 5 pick, and we'll start with number 5. The Sacramento Kings selected freshman DeMarcus Cousins with their 5th pick out of the University of Kentucky. Freshman center, 19 years old, 6'11", 275 to 290 pounds. He was the SEC Freshman of the Year in college. He averaged 15 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and just under 2 blocks per game. He had 20 double-doubles for Kentucky. His strengths: his size. He's a big, wide body. He's got great footwork in the post. Pretty good ball handling for a guy his size. He's a dominant low post scorer and defender. All around great potential for the young guy. His weakness: it's well documented that he has issues with his maturity and his demeanor when things go wrong with him. A lot of people say that he tunes out a little bit, and also he's had some problems with Coach Calipari, but I think he's okay now. But that's the knock on him. Also, he's a terrible free throw shooter right now, and also his stamina. He gets tired pretty quick. I mean, you know, he's a big guy, so he's had a lot of weight to carry around. I believe he was the number 5 pick because of his issues with his maturity. Because if he wasn't, he could have been a number 3 pick to the New Jersey Nets. But that's the only thing teams were questioning him about. But the Sacramento Kings needed a center, so they had to grab him. But I feel like if he has his head right and he plays up to his potential, he'll be an all-star center for the next 10 years. The Minnesota Timberwolves, with the number 4 pick, selected junior Wesley Johnson out of the University of Syracuse. He's 22 years old. He'll be 23 next month. He's a small forward, 6'7", 206 pounds. In college, he averaged 16.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and just under 2 blocks per game. His strengths are his length. He has a long wingspan. He has over a 7-foot wingspan. He's very athletic. He's very good in the transition offense. He's a great offensive rebounder. Has an outstanding mid-range shot. And he's pretty good from the three-point line. His weaknesses. His weight. He's only 206 pounds. And his strength. Overall, I believe he's going to be a really, really good player. He brings to mind to me kind of like a Rudy Gay. I think overall he'll be an all-star, and I think he'll have a pretty good career. With the number 3 pick, the New Jersey Nets selected freshman Derrick Favors out of Georgia Tech University. He's an 18-year-old power forward, 6'10.5", 245 pounds. In college, he averaged 12.5 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, and 2 blocks. His strengths. He's very strong. He's a great passer out of the low post. He's a low post presence on defense. He has a tremendous upside. And he is a rim protector. He can block some shots. His weaknesses. He's very raw on offense. He's pretty young, so he's still a little bit immature. He doesn't have any moves down low yet, but I believe he'll develop them. Overall, this is a great prospect with a big upside. I think this guy's going to be an all-star as well. Great, great player in the near future. With the number 2 pick, the Philadelphia 76ers selected junior Evan Turner out of Ohio State University. He's a 21-year-old shooting guard, 6'7", 210 pounds. He was a Naismith National College Player of the Year. He averaged 20.5 points, a little over 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in college. His strengths are his ball handling, his versatility. He can play the 1, the 2, or the 3. His mid-range shot, and also his court sense and his basketball IQ. Weakness is his athletic ability. Overall, this guy's a can't-miss prospect. He can play the 1, the 2, or the 3 positions very well. He is also a great team leader. He has a great personality, very smart, intelligent, and overall a very nice guy. He'll be a multi-all-star and also a Hall of Famer. I think this guy is going to turn the 76ers around. Great pick and a great player. With the first pick in the 2010 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards selected John Wall out of the University of Kentucky. 19-year-old freshman, 6'4", 195 pounds. In college, he averaged 16.6 points per game, 6.5 assists per game, and 4.3 rebounds. His strengths, and there's a lot of them: his quickness, his lateral movement, his speed, his athleticism, long arms. He's got a 6'9" wingspan. Great defender, great in the transition, great finisher with his left hand and right hand, great dunker, great slasher. His weaknesses: he turns the ball over too much in the half court, and his three-point shot. Overall, guys, we're talking about the best prospect in the draft. This guy, no question, is a can't-miss prospect. In my opinion, he's a 6'4" Allen Iverson. This guy is the most athletic point guard that I've ever seen. I've been watching him for 2 years now. In my opinion, if he wants to, he can be just as good as a defender as Gary Payton was in his prime, and also just as fast and can score like Allen Iverson. He will be the fastest point guard in the NBA currently right now, and it's been tested. He is faster than Chris Paul and Deron Williams. A lot of people say he's a lot like Derrick Rose, and he is to me, except he's not as strong, but he's quicker and faster than Derrick Rose and can finish with both hands, left and right, just as good as Derrick Rose. Overall, this guy's a Hall of Famer. He's going to turn the Washington Wizards around, and this guy will go down as one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. This is Jerry's NBA question of the day, and I'm going to keep it nice and simple, folks. Out of the 5 players I just talked about, who will be the best player next season and have the most impact on their teams? I'm not asking who's going to be the Rookie of the Year, because there's other players that were drafted lower, and also Blake Griffin is eligible. I'm not asking that. I'm asking who's going to have a better year next year for their respective teams. That's my question, folks. Thanks. Stay tuned. I'll be covering the NBA free agent class of 2010 coming up this week. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And remember, folks, if you think you cannot or believe you cannot do something, you won't do it. But if you think you can and believe you can do something, you will do it. So anything that you want to do, tell yourself you can do it. And then just do it. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.